All right, so what I've done is I've basically taken, so I created all of these glows and I used them as alphas and I just gave them a white RGB. They're all saved as 512 by 512 Targas and I just threw them into just the sprite folder, the glows folder. So now to bring them into the engine, I put everything in this effects shop folder, and what you can do is you can import and you can shift select them from where they are and open them, and this will just bring them into the engine. So if you double click at them and take a look, you can view their alpha, so we can see that our texture worked. So now I want to use them in a particle system. So I'm going to go to my emitter folder. I'm going to right click in here and I'm going to go particle system. And let's call this glow. Oh, sorry. We'll call this sharp glow. I have cap locks. No. Sharp glow. All right. Oh, sorry. So let me, usually what I do is for particles, I do P underscore. All right, so let's go ahead. So we have P underscore sharp glow. So this is just the very basic particle system that you'll get. So it'll have a color over life, an initial velocity, which is just going up, just initial size to set it, and lifetime, and these two will always be with any particle system. So what you want is in your required tab, you're going to go to this where this says default particle. So we're going to need a new material for this to replace this so we can see our glows. So let's go ahead into our materials. I'm going to right click and I'm going to create a new material, and I'm going to call this sharp glow. So if we open it up, it's just a very basic material. There's nothing plugged in. So let's go ahead and plug in our glow that we made. So type in texture. So we're going to use this texture sample, and we're going to go to our content, and we're going to select our sharp glow texture. And over on the side, we can use selected asset from content browser. So this isn't plugged in yet. This just exists here. I want to create something else. I want to go search for particle, and I'm going to use the particle color. And the reason why is I don't care about this white. I just want to use the alpha. So I want to make sure that my particle color, so whatever particle I set within here, within this color over life, just transmits to change the material's color. But what I do want is I want to use this alpha. So right now there's no opacity, it's grayed out, and that's because I've set the blend mode to opaque. This is kind of the default. So I'm going to go ahead and change this to additive, and I'm going to use this alpha over here. So cool, now we can see that it's projected onto this circle. Change this to a plane. So it's not two-sided, which is why you can't see it here. And you can change that if you want, but for sprites you don't have to since they're camera facing anyway. So great, so let's save this. And in our content browser, what we're going to do is we're going to select this material. So we go to materials, sharp glow. And in our particle system, we're going to replace with sharp glow. Sometimes it takes a second. And here we go. There we go. This is how they should look. All right, cool. So a couple of things that they're currently missing. So one thing would be, let's change this color over life so we can just see and make sure that it's actually obeying us. So not the alpha over life. Let's go look here. So let's change this to like blue. All right, cool. So it starts out as blue and it's going to white. This can be, whatever you want. Cool. And we can add in like different things. We can add in like a size by life, so we can make them, get bigger or smaller. let's see, I'm gonna make this guy go to like 0.4. Cool. And let's have it them get smaller earlier, so I'll do this 0.5. Cool. So you can see how like these could be used for sort of like sparks, or I don't know, just kind of like some sort of like atmospheric thing for any sort of magic effect. And you can create stretching and all kinds of things, especially if you change the type data to make them like stretch along their velocity. There's all kinds of things you can do. But for now, let's just stick with the basic stuff. So let me see. So I feel like our opacity, this is a problem. So it's just flickering out right now. So we have our color over life. Looks good, but our alpha over life is looking not so good. So let's just make sure this is set up here. So we have at frame 0 when it first starts, it has a total opacity of 1, and then when it dies it fades out. But you can see here that they're just blinking out, they're not fading out. So that's the problem, that it's getting all of its opacity from here and not from the particle alpha. So I'm going to do let's do a multiply, right? So I'm going to multiply, let's try this. I'm going to multiply the alpha, I'm going to multiply this alpha by the particle alpha and then hook this up to the opacity. And save this. All right, and now we have it working. So now we have our actual alpha, being influenced by this particle data that we're doing. So if you want to create some more glows, you can right click on here. You can duplicate this, name this whatever you want. I'm going to call this soft glow. And I'm going to go in here, and first I'm going to go to my texture, and I'm going to select my soft glow. And instead of using that, the sharp glow texture sample, I'm going to use my soft glow. We can save this. And then I'm going to go to my particle system. And I'm going to create a brand new emitter. So hopefully this will save. It's being quite slow. Here we go. So if I do a new particle emitter, I can go here, and let me make sure I have this material. Soft glow. So under my required tab at the very top, I'm going to change this for soft glow. And we can do a different particle over life. So maybe like it starts out as green and it fades to like turquoisey, or can do something warmer since it seems cool. So, and then you can play around with the particle system and make it look cooler. And of course you can always go in and edit your particles in Photoshop. But another cool trick is that you can actually edit these particles here if you're using Unreal. So you can dim down this max alpha. You can kind of even make this go in. So you have a little bit of control in here, not a lot. I would recommend for pretty much anything, unless it's like, so for example, let me open this. I think the soft glow initially, let's view the alpha. So for the soft glow, initially my minimum alpha was 0. And I felt like it was a little bit too close to the edge. So just to keep safe, I kind of move this down a little bit, so that then it was a little bit towards the edge. So there you have it, and there are glows for your effects, and you see how simple they are to make. And a cool one could be like you could make them kind of have a directional look, you can create sparks, you can do all kinds of different things. So this one's just the basic one. Next time we'll do some sparks. But for now, just play around and enjoy and create awesome things. Thanks very much. Bye.